Hey guys, welcome to Small Towns Unscripted.
Oh, thank you very much for the invite.
At the Lakeview, is it infamous or famous or both? Lakeview Drive-In.
I think famous.
Iconic.
That's a better name.
Yeah, well, I know I've been coming here since I was born, I think, and it's always been something special, and it definitely is. We're going to get into that. This is Jason Olcott, Amy Mack, Nicole Turner. My name's Russ McClellan. Thanks for tuning in. So we're at Lakeview Drive-In, right on the shores of Lake Chelan, and I appreciate you guys taking the time. You've watched a couple episodes, maybe?
Yep.
Yes, I have.
A little bit here and there. So tell me about, I don't know where to start. Tell me about your guys' history. Like, where did you grow up? Where did your parents grow up? Where are you originally from? Like the family that come out of the Midwest, or you guys
go
know?
first.
I go first.
There you go.
Grew up in South Seattle, Des Moines, and Mom decided to move the family over here. We used to vacation here. We used to vacation at Kelly's Resort. And she just loved the place so much, and she had a particular illness that the drier climate was better for her health. And her doctor was like, yeah, you should probably just move to a place that has like a drier climate, like a high desert. She's like, you mean like Chelan maybe? And he's like, yeah, exactly like Chelan. And I remember thinking, well, you can't live in the place where you vacation at. And like, yeah, you can. Yes,
That was your
actually,
first
you can.
limiting belief that needed to be assassinated.
That started it all.
So yeah, best move our family ever made, man.
And when did you move here?
moved
What year
to
was
Chelan.
that, do you think?
This was 1982.
So you graduated in 87, 86?
86.
86, I was 87. All right.
Yeah, made it here just in time for football season freshman year.
Nice. So was there a difference from like going to school there and then moving here and going to a smaller school? Was it a smaller school?
Wild difference. Yeah, cultural shift. Funny example. You know how they try to, like, when you go from one high school to another high school, they try to like match up your schedule as close as they can. Well, I had like a science class that was more like kind of an astronomy, kind of space science and the planets. Well, at the time, the closest science class they had to hook me up with was animal science. So, of course, I'm in Mr. Pearson's class,
FFA.
right? And I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing. First day here, they castrated pigs.
There you go.
In the auto shop.
In the
And I was like, oh, this is a whole different ball game here.
New science definition right around small town America.
Totally.
Life skills, buddy.
I remember being there in front of all these strangers with my hands tucked into my pockets going, I cannot believe we are doing this. What is going on?
Oh, man. Creativity at its finest back then. There was a guy back in the day that was trying to show somebody how to euthanize a sheep to eat.
A sheep?
Yeah, and the story goes, he thought a ball-peen hammer would do the trick. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and it got gruesome. It got wildly gruesome. And I'm thinking to myself, even when I was in high school, I was like, if they try to do that now, like this is different times,
right?
You know, because these are all like, you know, these original guys that came out here were all tough guys. You know, that first generation Chelan guys. You know, my grandmother came on a covered wagon when she was 7 from Missouri.
Wow.
My dad's mom. Yeah. So just you think about it, it's 2 people ago. My dad's mom.
Right.
Oh, how much has changed?
2 people ago, covered wagon.
Weird.
Yeah.
So that's the thing when people say, man, this town's changed. Like, oh, it's been changing a lot for a long time. It's just a different kind of change.
Right.
You know, but it's been a pretty damn popular spot for a while.
I remember when we first moved here.
Yeah.
All right. There's that bathtub out back that has something to do with it, right? You know, and
when Mom first told us that we were going to move, and you know, I had just started freshman year of high school in Seattle.
Tough time to move at that age.
And I remember my attitude was like, well, you guys can go ahead. I'm not going there.
I get an apartment.
And my mom, being just the smart woman that she was and wise beyond her years, she said, okay, why don't you go ahead and we'll hook you up and you can stay with your friend Pete and stay with his family, good family friends, until you know, halfway through football season or whatever, and then you can move over and see what you think. Well, she knew that she had the ace in the hole because the house that she had rented that we were moving into is the giant A-frame on Spader Bay.
Oh,
right.
Right.
The second to last It was beautiful. I mean,
No,
on the lake
really.
dock out into the water.
How do you beat that?
So I remember coming over here and still being like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then seeing the house and going, well, I could probably make this work. I
guess we have to
I could
slum
probably
it.
do that. Yeah.
That's
Best
cool.
move our family ever made, man.
All right, Amy, you're a long time, Chelan.
Yeah. I wasn't born here, but that was just because my dad was stationed at Camp Pendleton. I have two dads.
Okay.
So my mom married twice, and I was, hey,
Hey, get him up. He's on the podcast next.
she married Jim Slogenhopt out of high school, and
wow. Okay.
they were high school sweethearts, and she followed him down to California. He was stationed at Camp Pendleton, so that's my birth father.
didn't know that.
As you know, my dad now is Mack,
Mack,
and
yeah.
of course I still have Slog as well in my life.
Good guy.
But he's a great guy. They both are. So I'm lucky enough to have two dads. But I was born in San Clemente, California, because that's near Camp Pendleton. And Mom was pregnant with me down there, and didn't have much going on. She didn't work. She was just waiting for me to arrive, and she had sewn herself a bikini and suntanned a lot. And when she got on the delivery table, the doctor said it was the tannest belly he'd ever had on his table. And so I was, in the womb down there, and I still love it down there. I winter down there a little bit now.
Yeah.
My grandmother on my mom's side was from that area, Vista,
Okay.
California, Long Beach area. And so there's a connection. But yeah, I think Mom and I moved back up here when I was 2.
Okay.
And I've been here, well, I have not been here ever since, but I grew up here since then. Went through all of my school years here in Chelan, and Mom married Mike Mack, my father, when I was like 4. So it was a quick turnaround. And then my brother was born when I was 6, Michael Mack. So yeah, Michael and I grew up here, and my dad in the off season was building houses.
Because he was the founder.
Let me back up.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad, when they first got married, Mom and Mike Mack, they sold everything they had, and they bought the Alpenhorn Drive-In.
The Alpenhorn.
That was their first business venture. So I was just a little kid, and my brother was just born, and they bought that. And then after, I can't remember how many seasons, but somewhere in the 80s, they bought this as well. And they had, for one summer, they had a newborn, a 6-year-old, and 2 restaurants.
Yeah, wow.
And we lived in a double wide trailer that they put on the lot behind the Alpenhorn. So it was, now that I run this place, I have no idea how they did that, but they did. And then eventually sold the Alpenhorn and focused all of their energies on this and some other enterprises in town. But yeah, I grew up here. My parents were this drive-in's been here since 1957. So we'd have to look at the registry to figure out
Who
exactly
started
how
it,
many
yeah.
people have owned it. The Sturtzes had it at one point.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, my parents have had it since the 80s. So my parents, we think, had it for 20 years. My brother had it for 15, and I am completing my 7th year as owner. So what's that
Nice.
math? 47?
Congrats.
No, 35,
Wow.
42.
What a
42
staple.
years
And what
in
a
the
staple
family.
in the town, man. It's like, there's just certain, like you said, iconic. There's just certain things that are just can never change.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta keep this thing going.
Yeah, and I think part of the staple or the iconic, the viewpoint of it being iconic is that there's so much nostalgia and so many generations of families that have come here, and
That's
I hear it all
so
summer long.
true.
This is the first place we come when we get to town.
Yep.
And the last place we hit before we leave.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're going to miss it until next year when they come back.
And the people that were kids brought here by their parents are now bringing their kids, and it just kind of tumbles on. It's awesome to see and to hear those stories. It's part of what I love about being the owner.
Yeah.
And when I can work up front and like have exchanges with customers, I'll just go up and start taking orders sometimes, and then I just naturally can chat it up with people, and maybe a little bit more than some of my teenagers know how to do.
Yeah.
And
Well, they're not sure how to speak English sometimes. the
they're
younger ones.
trying. They're
But
trying.
this is a good job
We're
for
trying
them.
to coach
Wow.
that like connection. You
It's
know,
a good
like,
job for them.
But we're
You
doing
know?
this. I'll go up there and take a couple orders, and all of a sudden someone is like, "Oh, so how long have you worked here?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm the owner." And I did
Forever,
work
really?
here as a teenager for my parents. So during my high school years, I was here, and they also had the Cabana Motel, which is now, I don't know what it's called. It's across from Company Creek Pizza now. Those little condos.
The ones that are for sale.
Yeah.
There is a one for sale
Yeah.
there. Yeah, they had
The
that.
Cabana condo.
So yeah, I've been here since the 80s as a teenager, and now 7 years as a full-grown adult.
Grown.
It's a
big-
good. It's
boss
a good point. though.
lady.
It's a good
Mom
point.
boss.
You know, I have agents that are younger, and I go, you know, every once in a while, if you talk to people, it works better.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, you want to sell them a house. Like sometimes you need to like call them, talk to them.
Baby steps.
But they're like, you know, I had one of them got me, and I get it. There's generational shifts and changes, and texting and emailing and
Yeah.
Snapchatting or whatever we're doing. And the one guy goes, you can't just call people. You have to text them to get permission to call them. Because it's insulting if you don't. And I was like, I hadn't heard that before. That's new to me.
I hadn't heard that before either, but I learned pretty quickly as owner here that calling my employees never worked.
Yeah,
Texting
right.
always did. So
So
I had
funny.
and leaving a voicemail is a waste of time. I've learned that over the years.
Yeah, voicemail? What's that?
Yeah.
Like an
That's
answer
so
machine?
funny.
What the hell is that? Yeah,
Yeah.
so what year did you graduate from Chelan?
Class of 91.
91.
Yeah, there's 5 years between
Little-
us
little
age-wise.
crossover.
Yep.
You guys knew each other in high school a bit, probably?
My little brother was in her class.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I graduated with Donnie, and because of a 5-year difference when you're a teenager is a little bit different than it is now. We
Yeah.
weren't dating back then.
Yeah, you were an 8th grader
I
and he was a
actually
senior.
did date
Sure.
his little brother for a hot second in 4th grade.
Date
You
everybody
know
for a hot
when I'm
second.
saying
Fourth
4th
grade.
grade, what that means is
Yeah.
like very much nothing. But I do
movie night.
remember having.
He gave you a set of pencils or something.
And for my
didn't he?
birthday,
That's
he gave me a
romantic.
set of pencils with my name on them and little purple and pink hearts on them.
Romantic.
Sounds like my brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a little game from his old
Yeah.
brother.
But yeah, so we started hanging out more as friends after high school. I went to Seattle U for a little while, and then when I moved back, I was managing the Cabana Motel, and we just had some mutual friends, and we had known of each other. I'd been at your house when I was hanging out with Donnie in the 8th grade too. There was a whole 8th grade period where Donnie was my best friend as well, and I was dating a guy that lived across the street from me, Ryan Pauly. And Ryan and Donnie would skateboard all day, and I would just watch them.
Yeah, right?
I
Yeah,
would just fangirl
The
on them.
groupie.
Yeah, groupie.
And so I was at his house a lot then, but then in like the 93 plus era is when our friendship developed, and we've been friends ever since. Stayed in touch over the miles.
Yep.
I've lived overseas.
Pen
He's-
pals, the
yeah,
whole deal.
like,
Oh, wow.
You talk about old school. I mean, this was before cell phones even.
I have
wrote
stacks
letters.
of postcards and letters. Yeah,
That's
Oh,
crazy. I didn't know
wow.
that.
Yeah.
She
You're
was all over
romantic
the world
for sure.
when you were in Germany, for goodness
lived in
sakes.
Germany for 3
Were
years.
you just traveling and
I was working at an Armed Forces Recreation Center as a civilian ski and snowboard instructor.
all right?
So
Well, there's
there's a few people that paved the way from Chelan that
cool.
helped me find this gig, which was one of the best things I ever did in my life.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I became friends with all those people too. I was just looking at pictures of Ollie and all those guys.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
Yeah, they went over there and they realized this is before 9/11, so you could just go over as long as you had a U.S. passport. I was civilian. I wasn't military, and the recreation center is for active duty military. Anyone in a country that was in NATO at that time could come there and go camping and golfing and mountain biking and river rafting in the summer and skiing and snowboarding in the winter. And then there was this whole infrastructure to support all of that, and they hired just random civilians.
Wow.
It was literally like, talk about old school, walk up to a corkboard with note cards on them advertising in handwriting, advertising the jobs that were available at that time. And so I did a trip to Europe just to go do the Eurail thing. I flew into London and had my backpack and bought a train ticket for a certain amount of time. Stopped to visit those guys in a town called Garmisch. It's right on the Austrian border, southern Germany. And stayed for like a week, and I was like, oh, this is the coolest gig ever.
I totally want to live here.
Came home for a year, saved all my money, and then moved there indefinitely and looked at the job board. And I was waiting for ski school tryouts because I used to teach skiing up here at Mission Ridge since I was a teenager. And there was ski school tryouts in like a month, so I got a job in the hotel doing laundry, like laundering all the sheets until ski school tryouts. And then I did that and got that gig.
Perfect. It's fun. I've been over
Amazing.
there once. I did about a month back in 2005. And it was cool that the trains could take you everywhere so easily.
I love it. I wish we had that infrastructure here.
Hit like 4
I would ride
countries
trains all
in
the
5
time.
days.
Yeah.
And so cool.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, when I was over there, I remember going with a calling card to
Calling cards.
a
Calling
phone
card.
booth
yeah.
and using my calling
Yeah.
card and calling him up and talking to him and Donnie for, I don't know, an hour easily. And then constantly I'm getting postcards and stuff. And yeah.
So when did you decide that coming back home was the right move for you after being all around the world and doing things?
Well, I was in Alaska after Germany was Bellingham for 3 years at Mount Baker, and then Alaska was a summer job that ended up turning into 20 years.
Okay, what was that? What was that gig?
I was managing a restaurant up there. It started as a Denali Park like summer job, and then that's kind of a long story, but I decided at that point I was kind of interested in Alaska, and I had another opportunity to stay, so I stayed. But that led me to a really cool company that had a very successful line of restaurants, all like not chain or anything, not just a couple of brothers, a couple of rock climbers that ended up there. And I managed this place called the Beartooth Theater Pub and Grill. Managed the side that was the grill, which was a full service restaurant with a tequila and mezcal bar.
That's awesome.
And I was the mixologist that created all the cocktails, and I just loved it. I had the best team and the best owners, and I was happy as I could be in the job setting. Saved up on myself a house.
Nice.
But man, too much darkness.
Well, yeah, Alaska will work on you.
A lot of snow and no sun.
Yeah, and I liked winter sports, but I kind of had my fill, and I just realized I am like driven by sunshine and daylight, and I need it
It's
much
that whole
more.
tan belly when you're in the womb.
Yeah, I think it was from pre-birth that was
you're getting
something I
some
needed.
Slight skin cancer in the womb. It's
Right?
fine. It's good. I can deal with that.
So I wasn't actually in charge of this decision, though. As much as I was kind of like mentally trying to escape into the sunshine, it was my brother. He called me up and he said, "Amy, I need to be done. I'm missing out on a lot of things, including my children growing up.
3 kids, right?
His wife's a school teacher. He's got 3 kids who all at that time were, I think, all under the age of 11.
Yeah.
And so they're off all summer playing on the lake, and he was in here,
He's
and
in
he was
here.
missing
Yeah.
it all, and he realized it, and that was a smart move on his part to go, I want to get to know my kids before they leave the house.
Oh,
so
yeah. No question.
he called me up, I will never forget it, and he said, I got to do this thing. You get first dibs. If you're interested, we need to talk soon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a phone call in September of 2019? No,
Those
2018.
aren't always easy to do, brokering deals in families. That doesn't always work out well.
Yeah, you're right. And I was really cautious about that and we each hired separate accountants and lawyers to help us through the process so that
That's
nothing
smart.
would get...
I love that you did that. Like, can you look at all these papers and tell me if this is a good idea?
That's smart.
Yeah, because he sold it to me. It wasn't a gift, and it needed to be the price that he could sell it for that was fair.
Yeah,
And
open
I
market.
wanted him to get what he deserved based on all of the hard work that he put in
Yeah.
here. And so we did that, and I think within 3 months of that first phone call, I gave my notice to my job, which was a big hit for them because I had been so ingrained there for so long.
Right.
And I was on a plane like January 1st and got an apartment, and the rest is history.
Went for it.
Now I get to know my niece and my nephews and my family more too, because besides wanting to be closer to the sun, I wanted to be closer to my family.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
And you get to boss them around.
win-win. Though yeah, some of them I do
You
get
don't have to
about.
write Jason postcards anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, not so much.
So what you
anymore.
guys have going now, explain it to me. For those that maybe the 1 or 2 people that don't know how the other place works and how this place works, and now you're doing, or in relation to, is it what'd you call it?
The outpost?
I keep thinking the doghouse. Why do I keep saying
It
that?
was
Years
that.
and years ago, it
Mr.
used to be
Rudder's
called
place.
that.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dating me.
Well,
So the
Years
outpost.
ago.
That's a cool name.
So yeah, the concession stand at the city park, the Chelan City Park, Don Moore's Park.
Right.
The Parks Department contacted me and asked if we'd be interested in helping take that place over and run it.
And remember, our first reaction was like, yeah, no.
No.
God, come on.
got enough going on.
And then
Change,
I think
yeah.
it was probably even that evening that we were like, well, wait a minute. And then we thought about it and we thought, well, what we could do? So you can, what Amy set up is like, you can be over in the city park, download an app, order any food, fresh hot food made right here at the drive-in, and we have it
Bicycle delivered, right?
shipped over on an electric bike.
E-bike,
Oh,
E-bike.
nice.
So you can get double bacon cheeseburgers and buckets of fries and not have to leave your beach towel.
Perfect.
You don't have to give up your parking space. You don't have to leave. You don't have to walk over here and wait in line. You
Yeah,
just
ultimately
boop,
we
boop,
wanted
boop.
to figure out how we could offer as much as we could offer at that it's a very tiny little pipe chase of a room. It's not a big concession
Right.
stand. It doesn't have much going on. And
Yeah.
it's tiny, and I didn't want to prepare food in there.
Right.
It didn't seem sanitary. It's at the back end of the bathrooms, and it's just I
I
don't
remember
know.
it growing
Itty
up.
bitty little spot.
Itty bitty spot.
Yeah.
We
But if you
do-
organize it well,
Well, and I just had so much on my plate with still learning. I mean, 7 years in, I'm still learning how to run this place, right? I'm everything. I'm the accountant. I'm the
Entrepreneur.
hire, fire, schedule maker, order, cook, and there's so much.
Yeah.
And so when this came on my plate, I thought that at first, like we said, no way.
Yeah, no way.
But I had started having this guy in my life on a more regular basis, and he had just sold his business, Shot of Gratitude, which I'm
Right.
sure we'll talk about. And he was interested in helping me, and I was like, I kind of need you to just actually do it all. So
remember that
I'll
discussion.
figure out like
Just
the
take that.
app and
Just
the
take it.
online ordering, but then you're gonna take it and run with it. And he's really built it up.
That's
Over
awesome.
the last 4 summers. We've had it for 4 summers now.
Wow, just like that.
And is it just growing in popularity and awareness, or is it still taking time?
Both of those, popularity and awareness. There's we have these big posters that have the QR code
Yeah.
that let everyone know about the app. And there's people that didn't even see the posters. They just know from a friend of a friend of a friend, let's say.
Or
Yeah.
Google it.
Or Google it, right? So, and in the meantime, they're waiting for burgers or whatever while they're in the lake. And they're buying slushies and gummy worms and,
Yeah.
And we also have a hot case over there, so if you don't want to order on the app, you can just grab and go chicken strips, french
Oh, I
fries,
see.
corn
No,
dog.
hot plate, yeah.
That's
that kind of
cooked
thing.
here.
So-
Yeah.
Yes.
So everything's cooked here.
That's awesome.
I think what's interesting about the Outpost, though, is like you're dealing a lot of times with people that are here on vacation and may never come back again, or it's their first time here. It's not. I don't know that many locals, other than the local teenagers, go to the park in the summer anymore. I think a lot of the locals, our age and older, pretty much avoid it. And I
Go
get
to
it.
Green Dock or-
It's hard to get parking
Super
spots
crowded.
and whatnot, but so we're dealing with a lot of one-time only customers, and they're walking up. You can describe this better, but a lot of little kids walking up, and mom gave them like a $5 bill, and they're just like, because he's made it very bright and colorful and vibrant and full
Oh, yeah,
in
of course
there.
you did.
There's lots of stuff to look at, and it's all bright and colorful.
And he's like, "What can I get for you?" And the kid's like, they can stand there with their jaw dropped for like 3 minutes before they go, slushy.
That's perfect.
Totally. And the full line of ice creams, and then we have all the toys that you could want at a beach, right? So I had baseball bats and little plastic baseball bats and balls, and Nerf soccer balls and Nerf footballs and
Oh,
frisbees
that's
and boomerangs, for goodness sakes, and goggles and stuff, but everything.
Beach towels,
beach towels.
straw hats.
So it's morphed into a
Yeah,
lot,
it's a
lot
full,
of
it's
things.
it's a scene, dude.
I
And
love
it's,
it.
It's super fun because we brought in, well, from day one, I brought
yeah.
I brought the party speaker in, right? So there's music going at all times. I got flags flying. I got all kinds. So it's a scene.
So when are you going to do the airband competitions?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
'Cause-
Ladies and gentlemen, Chelan.
Get
That's
a
straight.
mini little stage going.
Because so that's the segue. When did you start your airband again?
Well, that was a high school thing.
Yeah.
That was when lip syncing was like a thing.
Oh yeah.
This was like I
Milli
don't know,
Vanilli.
What was it? Junior year, sophomore year. I don't
85,
know.
84. Yeah.
I don't know.
What was
That
the name
was
of your
some-
What was your name of your airband?
The name of our airband was Bloody Axe because we were metal, bro.
So you had the Bloody Axe Kids competition
Exactly.
with the boomerang. It's perfect.
Yeah, that was me and Marty Wasson and Forrest Wilson, and our original drummer was our drummer ended up being Sean Lopez, but our original drummer was, you just interviewed him. Why can't I remember him? Chelan County Cop, Sean
Sean
Oh,
Duke.
Sean.
Duke.
Yeah.
He was a drummer?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I've seen videos of this. If you didn't know, you would think they're actually playing the instruments and singing the song.
We made all our own instruments. They looked real.
Oh, man, yeah.
Oh, so even the instruments weren't real?
Oh yeah, it was like
You guys all had hair down here, right? Did
Yeah.
you have real long hair, like total rock star band?
and we made a drum set.
I think
for goodness
think
sakes.
you need to send us a picture so we can just
hairband.
like put
Oh,
it
that's
in the
funny.
video.
That's funny.
And then does that lead to your Bloody Mary Mick? Is that
No, I didn't ever even think about that concept of the connection
two
there.
names?
But
Oh, that's-
wow.
What's your
No.
Bloody Mary mix called? What's the name of that?
The name of the
But-
company is the Bloody Good Company, but the
It's-
mix is called the Righteous Bloody Mary.
So
Righteous
good.
Bloody Mary.
You've had it.
So good. Of course. Yes.
Yeah, and with the help of this lovely lady, we have a website now, and now I can ship nationwide.
What's the website?
TheBloodyGoodCompany.com.
TheBloodyGoodCompany.com.
I got
Bloody Mary
the,
mix, man, I'm telling you.
I got the exact name.
We're
that we
sponsoring
wanted.
this for 10. We get 10% of proceeds right now.
Yeah, right. And then the Lakeview Drive-In, is it LakeviewDrive-In.com? Or
It is,
the,
yeah.
Or the Lakeview? Or this,
Just LakeviewDrive-In.com.
LakeviewDrive-In.com. And are you guys weren't you delivering this summer too?
We were.
Well, to the
we-
outpost.
Just to the outpost?
Well, we were delivering downtown as well. We were going
off-season, yeah.
on the shoulder seasons and the off season.
So is that something that's not, are we still doing that in the off season, or that's not
We
a
were kind of
thing?
playing around with that, and because we decided to not go as deep into
Mm-hmm.
the season this year as we did last, when we were open till
Mid-November last year. We are delivering right now, Monday through
Right.
Friday, to downtown businesses on the electric bike. We are. We're not
Nice.
really talking about it a lot and pushing it a lot
Yeah.
because we're closing up in like a week and a half.
Now, what do you guys do after Rockstar Summer? You got 30,000 clients coming through the doors buying burgers, and then it's over. Now, are you like reeling into snow skiing still, or snowboarding, or are you taking some time, or you just starting immediately on the next year planning and hiring, or a little bit of both?
It's a big deep breath first of
Yeah.
all.
Mexico.
And then, like figuring out how late to stay open has always got a lot of factors involved. This year, we're going to close at the end of September. We got some things we got to do first week of October down in California that kind of dictated that. But after that, this year, it's been different every year for the shouldery season, I guess, of my downtime, like November, December, and then March, April. But ever since I got back, the first year, I drove to Southern California and stayed for a couple months down in that area where I was born. And I just felt like home, and it's where my grandma used to winter. A lot of other Chelan folks actually go down there.
St. Louis Obispo right there,
It's-
too, by Pendleton. Is it
This
right
is
in there?
Oceanside, California.
super cool little town, man.
Yeah,
Little,
it's super
cool
cool. My son
little
was
town.
at Camp Pendleton. And,
Okay.
I went down there, and there's a couple cool towns right on the beach,
Yep,
right
that
by
was.
Pendleton.
That's probably where you were.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, if you remember Ray Dobbs of
Of course.
KOZI fame, Ray and Catherine go there every winter for a little bit, so I get to visit with them.
Bill and Ginger go down there.
The Zackers, yeah, and
Zacher.
my parents go. They get their own
Might have
condo.
to
I
go
get
down there and
my
do a
own
podcast
condo.
with those guys.
Well, it's weird to go down there and you're in Oceanside and there's a bunch of Chelan people
Right.
there.
Some of my grandma's best friends, yeah, and so I spend time down there, and Jason spends time down there when he can with me. Also, his family's in Central Valley, California. But this year, we've got a new fun plan we just hatched. We're gonna rent an RV, and we're gonna fly to Vegas and rent it, and then go do the Great American Southwest tour. We're gonna go see some national parks and stuff,
Literally
Nice.
and see some
Road
friends.
Atlas here. That looks like a good.
And then I'll go to Oceanside. And then in January, I start kind of doing my thought process and work towards the next season, whether it's staff outreach or talking with my vendors, looking at food costing, deciding if prices need to be adjusted. All of that usually starts like end of January. But I'm literally just trying to rest my body and
No, I bet. Yeah.
rest
it's
my,
a rock. It's
my
rock
mind
solid.
a little bit so that
That's
I
gonna be-
have enough
That'll be fun.
energy to
oomph?
do it
You got enough
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell
Well-
you what. Go ahead.
To answer your question, just the super simple question: at the end of the season, what does it go on? What goes on? Is it a big deep breath? Well, for me, because I was trying to run the outpost, we were going 7 days a week, and 7 days a week you can do that for a summer. And we got a few days that were way too windy because you get the wind and it's just blowing stuff around. It's crazy, or rain or whatever it is. And then there was a couple days we took off. But after 7 days a week, and you've been to the concession stand, it's a brick building surrounded by concrete. It's like a pizza oven in there.
Yeah.
There's no AC in there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
it's,
about that.
it's 107 outside and it's 119 inside.
Wow.
But at the end of the season, you're like, oh God, I have time to like mop my kitchen floor again.
Yeah.
Just the
realized-
basic
Yeah.
stuff.
Totally. I was using my house as a crash pad.
Yeah.
I'm just get up, shower, go to work, come home, have a beer, go to bed. Do
Yeah,
this
I
whole
get it, man.
thing.
That was the
Cycle
summer
again.
for us.
That's
too.
how we feel during
Oh,
real
man.
estate. I mean, even now I'm just cleaning my house and I'm like, wow, it's the simple things that I haven't done all summer that are neglected and I'm needing to do.
You gotta grind when you're an entrepreneur. I mean, that's the thing. People don't get it. Small businesses are the hardest thing to do because you're every department, like you said earlier. I mean, and you don't get to just hire it once. And even if you can find them, I mean, you've been obviously, you got a ton of cool people that work here, and you got obviously a training system that works, and but it's not easy. I mean, it's the people aspect, and you end up doing a lot of the things and leading by example. And if you let off on that gas pedal as a small business, it's hard.
A lot of
Well,
hands-on.
Especially
Yep,
when
a
you're
lot of
every
hands-on.
part.
Every part,
Like you
yeah.
There
said.
you go.
And he was the only employee at the outpost. We didn't trust anyone else to be over there. I worry about people getting bullied. Like, can I just have a free corn dog, man? And no one's going to do that to him.
Right.
As a matter of fact, he
Exactly.
became like the
Park enforcer?
Yeah, he's the guy that's saying, hey, slow down on that scooter.
Yeah.
Like
Get your
he's doing
badge
that.
on. Hey, I'm the park enforcement
yeah,
officer.
old man Olcott over here. Get
There's
off my
a-
lawn.
a
We
little
could
bit of that.
really do like an
That's a perfect
outpost, like
poster to
little
put up.
sheriff's badge.
It
Love
would
it.
fit.
that wouldn't be a bad idea, actually.
Cowboy hat,
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah,
Kind of hot, but just try it.
Funny.
It's funny, when I opened the restaurant in Chelan, when I thought that would be a good idea, even though I have a finance degree, and they told me never to do that. That 99% ain't going to work, especially if you're not there. I learned a lot, and the most I learned, it was like 3 or 4 year run, and I have a lot of reasons why I wouldn't do it again, because I learned how hard it is and how much respect I have for people that can do it. Because until you're in a small restaurant and you try to launch one from scratch, we built the building, remember the Bonfire Grill?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we were kitty corner, right?
Yeah.
Because it amazed me how many ways you could lose money. And we were making a lot of money.
Right.
But we were still, like, I remember the first month was like 140 grand in revenue, and 120 grand in revenue or something, and he goes, but you spent 140. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, you got to watch that money in
The
versus
theft,
money out.
the design of the kitchen.
Every last little thing, and you got to be on all the time, or at least be available every hour of the day.
Yeah.
And that's what I say about Amy, is that she's a hard worker. I mean, I'm a hard worker, but she's a harder worker, and she not only works harder than I do, she works harder than I would do. I wouldn't do that.
Well,
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, it's
She
insane.
does.
You just got to be so committed and dialed up that you love it, and you got to love it while you love it, and if you don't, you got to fake it while you love it. And I just remember going, my friends, when I was shutting down, they were like, "Why are you shutting down? It's great." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been funding a party for like 4 years." Like, Jesus, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't everything I do, it works out or doesn't work out, I wouldn't change it. I remember my dad going in there with his cowboy hat, and my mom, and being able to act like a host, and everybody kind of thought he owned it. And he's, I'm gonna get you a table, and so for entrepreneurship, if Hell's Kitchen showed up, they would have, Ramsey would have pummeled me into the ground. But at the end of the day, it was like, that was pretty cool to watch my mom and dad kind of be able to semi-own, or kind of everybody thought it was theirs, and that was fun. I had a lot of fun people work for me. And it just was the financial side that was challenging after 3 years. But I just remember going, man, especially the seasonality of this place.
Right.
It's
Was
tough.
it tricky to get that place up and running on account of, wasn't all your cooking done outside?
No, it was a lot of it, because I had this idea. There was a lot of challenges. I made a lot of mistakes. But I hired a lot of good people too, Just you learn that there's so many more layers to, well, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have the experience, you're just learning as you go through failing. I mean, essentially. But yeah, we'd go outside, and then that'd be impacted by the weather. I remember I had this guy, I thought it'd be a good idea to have a chef, and I called him Nico the Magnificent, from downtown Seattle, at a restaurant down there, Buenos Aires Grill, I think, back in the day. There's probably a reason why I had a friend that worked there. There's probably a reason why he had me take him. I learned.
I see.
And there were some addiction issues that we had to deal with. And the first night, he was mad. And the soft opening was like 300 people. And the lines out the door. And we had this outdoor thing we had built, welded together, this huge barbecue thing. And he's mad. He's the chef, but he's out there like stoking the coals, just hammering them. And I look up and the flames are like 50 feet in the air.
And you're like, there's a gas station
And
across the street,
And
bro.
then I looked over. This is a true story. It's etched into my memory. And he's drunk, high,
Oh, Jesus.
and he's losing his mind. And he's mad that the
gosh.
the servers didn't get their food out in time. His food's cold. I mean, Hell's Kitchen, right? So then I'm looking at him going, Nico, put that down. Because I could tell he's inebriated. I could tell we're collapsing, right now. And then I looked over and there's ambers landing at the gas station.
Oh,
and there's this
dude.
little girl holding her mom's dress. And I go, I'm about to blow up the town.
Oh my goodness.
So I
Russ.
finally got more serious with him, and I got him out of there and fired him. And the next day, my dad was down there sweeping and cleaning up, and it was a long night for me. I had to
Like
go up
ash all over the sidewalk and stuff.
No, it wasn't. So that's just, it was a horrible night, and it was, everybody was, it was Hell's Kitchen. But my dad was there the next day cleaning up, and he shows up and he goes, "Hey," I sobered up. He goes, "Hey, is Russ here?" And he goes, my dad, just cowboy hat, sweeping. He goes, "Here's the thing. I'm going to do you a favor and tell him you left town. Okay?" And he went back sweeping.
that would just be best for all.
The cowboy hat.
That's amazing.
And I was so angry. And it was just like, but again, that's a life lesson. I learned something, and at the end of the day, I just remember going, man, how many restaurants I took it for granted that they're in this town and they're making a living. And then I thought Lakeview's the best damn example of how to do this town, because you got summertime. But those other ones, and there's so many mistakes I made. Not having an identity. I didn't know what I was. I was going to be El Gauchos, then I was going to be, an outdoor barbecue
Sure.
party,
Well, see, I got to just walk right into an already operational, well-functioning, well-oiled machine, which I'm eternally grateful for.
But you
and
also did a bunch of it up in the West.
Well, and I learned a lot of things up in my other restaurant life that that helped set me up for success in ways to help grow this, but keep it the same. You know what I mean? There's adaptations that have to be made as time goes on, but you don't want to change something that's been here since 1957. In a lot of ways, you just need to keep it the same.
Yeah.
But my parents really had a lot of really good systems in place, and then my brother added on to that. And then I come in and I just want to respect that, and then slowly kind of trickle in some of my own little things I know, things I can hang my hat on. That I was basically in a paid mentorship for 17 years at the Tooth family up in Anchorage.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
They were teaching me about profit and loss statements. I was getting profit sharing as a salaried manager there. They were teaching me how to treat your employees well and have staff retention. There was a lot of stuff that I learned while being paid up there that I was able to bring to this table, and it's benefited me. I'm still so close with so many of those mentors up there. We got to go up a few years back, and I got to introduce them to everybody. And there was building blocks that are in my foundation that I feel like this was kind of destiny for me. This was where I was supposed to come back to.
You're doing a great job, and it's cool how many kids your brother and you and your parents have mentored into business, or into working with the public, or especially back when they had to do math.
Yeah,
Right.
And they did
A lot
that
of
for a
math.
long time.
Yep.
And
Amy teaches people how not only to be an employee of the Lakeview and to do all the things that we need to do in this building, but a lot of times just teaches them how to have a job, how to just be a worker.
yeah,
It's their
communicate well.
they're 14. They'd never had one before.
And they're always so
And be
pleasant.
patient with them
There's-
through all of those learning
Yeah.
curves, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's times I gotta bite my tongue.
I bet, yeah. But the bacon double cheeseburger's still here.
Yep.
And it's still great.
It's still
Yeah,
great.
all
Double
good.
Mac, triple Mac.
Trying to keep the consistency is a big
And
responsibility.
you got that for years.
Is there pressure for that? Like, you can't really make too many changes because of that? You need to keep it just as good and just as consistent,
yeah.
even with the ebbs and flows of how much cost has gone up and everything else?
Oh, very much. That's like front of mind awareness for me at all times. And down to like, if I could, I would dress every single hamburger bun myself, because I know exactly how much mayo, mustard, relish, lettuce, and onion to put on them, and it's really
To have
a
that
strange
one magical
thing
flavor. You know
to
that
think
flavor?
like,
Yeah.
well, if that one kid doesn't put a little bit more mustard on there, someone's going to think their burger has no flavor. And I've had those comments from long-term locals that care. They'll tell me, the burgers are, have you changed something? I'm like, nope, not at all. But it's a hand, and it's not my hand, and it's not my hand putting the seasoning salt on the beef patty. And so, you know, that's where automation comes in for a lot of those big chains, because they got to have that consistency. I'm trying to do it the manual way.
Yeah.
Just by showing and teaching and correcting and shifting. But I physically try to be on there as much as possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought, you think about the pressure that you're under when you took this on. That must have been a big shoes to fill.
I shiver when I think about how much anxiety I had that first year, literally 24/7. I lost like 30 pounds and I was a wreck. But I was also integrating into a whole new phase of my life and a whole new phase of a relationship with this town, with my own family. It was a lot. But every year has gotten better. Every year has gotten easier. And every year I walk out of the season feeling actually really proud.
Yeah, for sure. You've done an amazing job. And it's all course corrections. I mean, everything in life is course correction. There's not a straight line. I mean, you don't get in an airplane in Seattle and go to Hawaii and it's a straight line. It's, you know, you're course correcting life, right? So you got to learn.
And knowing when to ask for help and knowing who your resources are,
huge.
Knowing who to trust and who not to trust. Like you're never a one person show in life ever. You know, and I'm the first to say, I don't know how to do this. Can someone show me, you know?
And the tech's changing and the people change.
Well, then always, like,
demographics
every
shift.
year, you have a new staff, I'm sure, or a lot of new staff every year.
Well, let me tell you one of my things I'm most proud of right now. Staff retention has gotten better every year to the point where, you know, we usually have 50 employees.
Oh.
This year I had
In that
40.
building.
I had
In that
no
building.
idea.
This
Did you
year
say 50?
I had 50 is what my goal is to hire every year. Last year I had 60 and it was a little too much, so I backed it to 50 this year, and I had 40, either 40 or 42 returning from last
incredible.
year. So I did very little
Training's
to
already
no
there.
hiring.
Groundwork is
And
already been
then
laid.
those 42 can help the other 8.
Yep.
And then it takes,
That's
wow.
why this year has been the best ever, and I'm building something with this crew that feels like I can maybe, hopefully, count on that again next
Good
year.
for you. Maybe take a step.
They like each other a lot.
That's good.
That
We've
is
kind of
cool.
formed some bonds. We do some stuff with Only 7 Seconds.
Yeah.
And we've had some times where Luke Wall has come here and worked with my crew. And
That's another episode I saw.
Yeah, we
Yep.
did Luke. He was amazing.
yeah, he's
John and
amazing.
Kristen.
And so there's some team building stuff that we've done thanks to Only 7 Seconds and our partnership with them. The kids are all really aware of that organization and are participating in their own ways in that. I think that stuff helps. We also did a staff party at Slidewaters this year.
Perfect.
That was dope, dude.
Nice.
We closed on a
Really cool.
Monday and took them all there and let them, these bracelets I had made, Lakeview Crew 2025, everybody got one, and I had worked a deal out with Robert Bordner up there that his food and beverage crew knew that if someone had this bracelet, that kid could walk up and charge anything they wanted to my tab and
Think
he
of how
invoiced
cool
me
that is.
later.
Very cool.
That's
So
I'm with the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the cheese.
I'm a VIP.
it was pretty.
Totally,
it was
right?
pretty neat. We had like I think about 40 people show up that day as well,
And we did the whole thing.
Some
we
people
did
did
the
high
ropes
track.
course and the axe throwing and the whole shebang.
Quite a
With
little
staff
Shazam
awards.
he's got going over there.
Yeah,
Oh.
Slidewaters
It's just-
is a treat, dude.
it's evolving.
Slidewaters is absolutely a gem.
It's
for
amazing
this
that
valley.
exists in our town.
Yeah.
It's like the landscaping is like as perfect as at Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Every bush, tree, shrub, flower.
It's got to be, yeah. He's running an amazing operation,
Yeah,
and
shout
it was
out.
fun to take them there and have fun together. We did a ballot, a staff awards ballot, where we gave people had them vote for each other, like who makes the best soft serve ice cream cone, who's the best karaoke singer in the building, because we're always blasting the music and singing and dancing in there. That's another thing. And so they all voted for each other, and then we had rented one of the pavilions at Slidewaters, and I had a pocket full of $20 bills, and if you got voted the best in your category, here's 20.
Straight cash, bro.
Here's 20, here's 20.
Straight cash.
One
That's
kid,
non-tax.
one kid did a full sweep and walked out with like 140 bucks.
Good for him. I love this
And
job.
That's the thing that Amy's pretty modest about, but that's one of the reasons that she has this crazy retention, is that she's a conscientious boss, very, very generous boss, and isn't a penny pincher. Isn't a penny pincher when it comes down to something like that. You don't have to give $20 for somebody who was voted, makes the best. soft serve ice cream. Mia Garcia. They're like,
I would like her next
beautiful.
time I
They're,
go.
they're beautiful. But yeah, she's a great conscientious boss and generous. We'll give raises unsolicited. Like, here's the deal. I think you've been doing a really good job. Check your paycheck this time.
Wow.
That's another thing you're
Unsolicited
teaching them
raises.
too, right?
How often does that happen?
They don't even know how to look at a pay stub, and I don't know if their parents don't take the time to show them. Look at how much you're making per hour, and do you understand like what this thing is that they pulled this out because of this?
And tip
So,
sharing.
yeah, we have a tip pool that adds quite a bit to their hourly income, average of like $7 an hour more.
Oh, they're learning tons of
tips.
skill sets at 14.
Wow.
So we're trying to make sure, like when I
great.
can acknowledge someone's improved over the season and financially award them, and then kind of try to. I mean, like I have time for like a 30-second conversation about it. We're not sitting down and pulling out a spreadsheet, but that little interaction is something that's going to be like they're going to have a million more of those in their life, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to start paying attention to their worth and know that they should be paid for it, they should be acknowledged for it. It's such an honor to be able to do
Self-esteem
that.
building, it's self-confidence building. It's all the things it seems like a lot of kids are hurting in right now. They don't have that area to learn. They don't. Somebody told me, there's an old saying, don't give a guy a fish, teach him to fish. And then my partner, he said, actually, his mentor said that doesn't work if they don't have access to a pond. So you kind of got to go at it a little different level. You start by the fundamentals of things, and then it works its way backwards. It's not as simple as that, and especially in today's world, it's harder for kids, I think, and what you're doing in the public, and how many different personalities come to the window, and how do you handle some guy that's half cocked and whatever, right?
Yeah.
My ice cream's not cold enough, whatever they say.
Yeah, there's who
a
knows?
percentage of people, right? That
Yeah,
are,
oh, yeah.
nothing you can do.
Right.
But that interaction is very valuable at 14.
For sure.
To realize that this is life. Life's going to throw some curveballs at you. Not everybody's perfect. They have issues too. Maybe something happened this day. Whatever.
Right.
Just handle. We'll deal with
Yeah,
it.
there's lots of that. When dealing with the public, which we've done our whole lives. Being a bartender, bar owner, bar managers, and then this place. There's thousands and thousands of people, faces, interactions every single day. So yeah, there's lots of this. There's lots of swimming.
Teaches. How did that guy handle it? He doesn't.
Yeah.
Just by watching and observing, you can. Oh, how did Amy handle that situation when she stepped in? That's all leadership training, right?
Yep.
It's kind of cool. So, what did you? Do you want to talk about Shot of Gratitude and your history there and what that was
super
like?
fun. That was super fun.
It was a
man.
cool place, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was a great little place.
What
And
years
that
were
was-
those? I'm trying to place it in my brain.
God, I don't know what we ended up in.
It was about
2000
10 years all told.
Yeah, 8-10 years. I think it was 2020 that we finished.
I think you're right.
And I owned the business. I didn't own the building.
Oh yeah.
And the gal who owned the building wanted to sell the building and just be done with it.
Got it. Yeah.
And I had no recourse at that point. I was running a business out of the building that somebody else owned.
Yep.
But she ended up finding somebody to buy it, the current owners of what is now called County Line.
Yeah.
But when I was there, man, it was just fun. It was a
You've always
big,
been just
fat,
energetic as
fun
hell, man.
party. It was.
I've never seen you down in my life. I don't think so. Have you ever been in a bad mood? Oh my God.
Every now and again,
Really?
but not very often. I mean, especially when you're doing something like that, man. And I had a great chef, Brian, who's now the chef over at Tin Lily, and I just let him run with it, and he came up with all of his own custom breakfasts and lunches and dinners, and I was just talking about that barbecue chicken sandwich that we have. This is the barbecue chicken hoagie with the red onion. Oh my God, dude. But yeah, we just had a great time. We had a great
that's
time.
awesome. That was good.
4 or 5 beers on tap and full bar and little party hangout in the back with the TV and the big racket games and the big side yard, and it was awesome.
Well, that's the thing about
great.
entrepreneurship spirit, right? That you can have phases, and it doesn't mean good or we had a great time. It was a good run. We had and then it evolved into something else, and you do something else. It's getting stuck. I think so often people are like, well, I need to know what I'm going to do. If I do this, I'm going to do this for no. You can do that, and if it works out, great. If it lasts 10 years, great. If you don't want to do something else, go do something else. I mean,
Bar business
wrong
is
with that.
rough too. Managing a bar myself prior to this, I kept thinking kind of naively that going from being a manager of a full service restaurant with a full liquor license and a theater pub where we had concerts. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go run a little burger shack by the lake. No liquor, no beer, nobody
It's going to
getting
be
drunk.
so easy.
Easy
It's
peasy.
just going to be so much simpler.
The
Well,
public's no problem.
it's just a different shift. It's and
Yeah.
there's because I'm the one person. I don't have a team. I don't have
Right.
a marketing team and an HR team and all of that now. It's just all me. It's like, oh, that was very naive. But he, that place, Shot of Gratitude, I wasn't living here during that time, but I would visit every once in a while, and it was so fun to go in there because it was just Jason. I mean, it was an outward, like, extended vision and viewpoint of who he is in his core.
Yeah.
That was
From
awesome.
every corner of the room, you look like that. That's Jason. That's Jason. That's Jason.
Oh,
He'd have movies playing on the TV,
Old school.
lots of metal
Lots
music
of
playing.
music at all times.
And he didn't allow bachelorette parties.
Yeah, there was just. I mean, you know how small that building is.
Oh, they're
if
crazy.
I had like a,
was
Hell,
all him.
wineries aren't even letting that happen now. Some big wineries are shutting them down. Like, no,
Right.
too much.
well, when I first started saying that, like, no bachelorette parties in here, other business owners in the area were like, dude, that's the death knell. You're committing suicide right now. And I was like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And it was
Now,
just
if I
fine.
had like a whole like annex, like the gymnasium that I could just shove
Rent
them
that
into,
place
fair
out.
enough. But it was so small.
Padded rooms.
So yeah, and it got to the point where the antics that go on at bachelorette parties got to be so. I was like, well, there's kids in here, man.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
have that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
Time and a place. Right? Time
Totally.
and a place. Well, that's just making your decisions too. That's how you've always been. Huh?
Oh, good.
It's awesome.
And now you
Sure
said
was
you
fun.
shut that down in 2020? So right before COVID? Or were you in the midst of COVID?
no, it was right before you. I always do this like I was like a matador. I just missed COVID.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, that
miss.
would have been...
Well, you would
mean-
have been open anyway. You'd have been done.
Well, and in
Yeah.
a way, that's the same thing that happened for me because the restaurant that I managed up there, they struggled so hard to navigate how to deal with that shift. And I come here, and this is a place that's takeout only. We didn't have any indoor space for customers that we had to worry about, and it was grab and go. And so, actually, during COVID, this place was one of the only places that could continue to operate. And we
wow,
stayed
yeah.
open into December that year.
Yeah, I remember.
Because the kids wanted to work, they weren't in school. They asked if we could stay open. I had no plans at that point yet. Hadn't discovered how much I needed to go to Southern California yet. But yeah, so there were. It almost felt wrong, like to have us be already in a setup where it functioned.
And to be able to feed the community, I mean, not to be super altruistic about it, but
It's true.
you
Like all
were
these
in the
other-
driver's seat of like all these places had to shut down a limited service or whatever.
And I didn't.
Your
Yeah.
building and your business was made tailor-made for that.
I know.
That was
It ma-
weird about those laws. They were just so, different.
Right.
Some
There was a
people-
lot.
You
I
gotta wear the
almost had
mask
like
when
a
you
lot
walk
of
into the
guilt.
building.
for it.
Unlogical, I have to say, on a lot
Walmart's
of
okay.
things.
That little convenience store is not okay.
Yeah.
What?
Now, I had
Yeah.
this guilt complex that whole year of how well we were doing, and like, and knowing that like Marcella
that's
is
so
like,
sweet.
I,
That's just
so
sweet
I just
being
I tried to figure out how I could help.
Yeah.
Like I donated a bunch of these tables to the downtown corridor so that they could put them out on the sidewalk so people would have outdoor dining.
Right. What a weird
worked
time
with-
in history.
I know, right?
What a weird time.
People
Yeah.
wearing masks and
Well, you've always been sweet, and your whole family. It's just it's cool to see you guys having fun. And, the one thing I wanted to ask you before we get off, like when we grew up here, what do you think this town? Is there anything that's strikingly different to you than it was when we were growing up?
wow,
Or-
different. I mean, it's bigger and it's grown, of course, and there's new elements. But I mean, when I first moved here, I mean, October would roll around, and by 5 o'clock, there's nothing going on. They'd roll up the sidewalks. Clearly, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think so much different. I just, now that I'm older, I appreciate so much more. I mean, we were eating breakfast at Campbell's a couple days ago, and it was just this beautiful
Outside.
day like today, right? We're on like the little catwalk, and I look out and I'm looking at the old bridge, and the sun is just so, and the wind is just so, and it's just gorgeous, and the sun's just twinkling up. I know, not to sound corny,
No, I love it.
but I remember thinking,
Love it.
this has to be fake.
Yeah.
It can't be this pretty here.
Yeah.
We do this a lot.
It's got to be this has to be some sort of matrix situation, because look at that,
Yeah.
you know. So
The gratitude
I noticed
aspect
that.
is for sure
I
different.
notice
You
that
know,
every
when you're
day.
young, you're just running and going. And,
Well, when I turned 18, I could not wait to get out of this town.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
too small for me. I was too
Yeah.
curious about the rest of
Yeah,
the world.
yeah.
And then when it was time to come home, it was really, it really dawned on me like how
How lucky.
beautiful this place is, how lucky I am to call it home. I try to encourage the kids to see it. I don't know that they totally do yet, just like I didn't at 17. They're curious and maybe want to go see other places, but come on back, because it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
It's
like
Well, we've seen it in a lot
is
of our
paradise.
friends, you know, that
Yeah.
go away, and they're always, there's a lot of them looking back now, like,
Yeah.
how do I get back there now? I had
Yeah.
a career or whatever.
Right.
That
Well,
calling is there.
And as far as changes go, like you could hammer on this side or the other, but I like that there's more agriculture now. It's more than apples. I love what the wineries are bringing to the
Diversified,
area. I think it's elevated our little town a little bit. I like to drink wine.
And change is inevitable.
Yeah,
so
she
if you
buried
can-
the lead.
But that has elevated some of the food offerings around
True.
the area as
Yeah.
well, which means you have more options, more interesting options. The whole farm to table thing is kind of available to us. Look at what Austin Harmon's doing over at Lakeside Tavern. I never would have expected to see that kind of elevated cuisine in this town, or even the wine. And we're making really good wine around here. Like,
sure.
it's becoming world renowned. So I feel like the changes that are happening, I'm more just proud of than anything.
That's a great perspective. And
Yeah. I
love
it's
that.
like what Grant said.
Little positive.
I love it. You know, it's like Grant said when he's helped a lot of people, and he said maybe 2% of my career were assholes. You know, maybe 2%.
Really.
Most people, vast majority of people, are good people. And that's kind of what I always want to say is, like, you know, change is hard if you're used to a certain thing. And you know, I grew up here. My dad grew up here. My grandma came here when she was young on a wagon. It's obviously changed. More people. Things aren't the same.
Yeah.
And there's going to always be more change. Like we were talking about earlier, just 2 people ago, my grandma came on a wagon.
Yeah.
So there's always been change.
Well,
Like,
wait, you guys talk
Right.
about so much being nostalgic, right? Think about, like, the kids now are going to say the same thing in, like, 30 years of their, childhood, even though it's, like, what it is now. It's going to be nostalgic for them.
Yeah,
So,
and change always is. I say this a lot, but we often look back in time like the past was just rose-colored glasses. It was so easy. No, the past has always been messy. Change has
Right.
always been hard,
Yeah. Yep.
and it doesn't always work for everyone at every moment in time. But at the end of the day, I think the vast majority of people that I work with, and the vast majority of people of the business owners I talk to, are good people that are coming here from wherever they're coming here. They're enjoying the town. They're respecting the town. Not everybody, of course.
Right.
With more people comes more issues, but I think it's important to always have that mindset when you're talking about growth and change, is that most of the time you just have to figure out a way to channel it and think about all aspects, especially if you're in politics. You got to get into the people that are doing it have to think about the whole thing, but it's hard to freeze time. Freezing
Well-
time comes with some problems.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, have you seen what they've done with Riverwalk Park in the last couple of years? It's gorgeous. And there's all these like little
Totally.
cool steps to walk into the
that's
lake.
where
and these
I
neat
go
little
paddleboard
fences.
every summer.
It's
That's
so
my
beautiful.
spot.
It didn't used to be that. And as a matter of fact, if I wanted to be negative about it, I can tell you my grandpa Jack Mack used to have a house on that park and used to have his own dock down closer to the new bridge. And it had a water slide that I, as a little girl, would like get to slide into the water right there,
Oh,
and
that
we
would
would
be
just
cool.
roll around in our inner tubes. And there was no Riverwalk Park, and I have fond memories of that. But when the PUD
this-
started putting that together, there's so many more people that get to enjoy it now. We just walked around it the other day just because like we were looking at how beautiful it was, and I'm like, I want to be in it.
Yeah, we
I
have
want
to,
to.
There's a good
in that.
example, because I think Faye Yetter was related through marriage. My aunt lost a house through condemnation. The government, eminent domain.
Who did we have
So
on the podcast?
had to take the house from them to build the park, and they have to pay them, but it's never market value.
Right.
So there's pain in change. Now,
Yeah.
Sure.
for them, that park sucked because they lost their house.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for
I
the
get
good of
you.
the whole, sometimes that's the power of eminent domain. It's not always a good thing, but sometimes the greater good is served, and it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
I can see the other side too. If you're that person, that sucks.
Oh, for sure.
But now look at it.
Well, and
two
there's also
generations later.
there's also something to be said for like the people that choose to live here, and just speaking selfishly, pretty much my whole core of the fellows that I ran with in high school, we all moved back here. So we went off and did our thing, military, college, whatever it was, owned homes here and there and whatever. Guess what? We're all still back in Chelan, right? Me, Troy Nesposo, Marty Wasson,
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Collins, right? We all did our thing. There's one of our friends that lives in Colorado right now, Ben Booksy. But my whole core of dudes that
That's
I ran
cool.
with in high
Yeah.
school,
That is cool.
we still hang out, right? And I'm like 30 years old now. In my
Going on
late
31,
30s.
maybe. Maybe 31.
But yeah, I mean that speaks to the beauty and power of this valley. That people like leave and they go, you know what, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
coming back.
Yeah, even if it's changed a little bit, I still love it. Well, guys, I know you got a shift to take over.
That's true.
Amy Mack, Jason Olcott, thank you.
Thank you very
Man,
much.
what a
Thank
fun
you
thing.
So
Come,
nice to talk to you guys.
come to
Yes,
Lakeview
absolutely.
Drive-In.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
go.
you so much.
Thanks.
All right, it's been a good time. Signing off from Small Towns Unscripted.